I wish that I didn't wait so long to get help. That fear ruled my life for so long, and self-loathing ruled my life for so long.
My name's Vivian, my husband Jerry, and we're victims of sexual assault.
My name is Lois Smith, and I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse and rape.
I booked myself into the hotel room that weekend. I went in prepaid for 3 days on the Friday, and I was bound and bent to come out Monday in a body bag.
For 30 years, I haven't told anyone.
It's funny how something that happened so long ago can still seem like it was yesterday in so many ways.
My life was a country song because everything I had I lost, and my dog did die. And I don't mean to make light of that, but I did. I lost everything, including my self-respect, my dignity. I was searching for the power and control that was taken from me when I was 7 years old.
Our daughter Rebecca was sexually assaulted by an uncle when she was very young to about the age of 17.
We as kids were taught to obey our elders, and the skating monitor came along and said that he would tend to my minor injury, and he took me in the first aid room where he sexually assaulted me.
It was my father, and he was a minister in the church.
The guns came out, and when those guns came to my head, I froze. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. It's like the blood freezes in your veins.
We didn't know until Rebecca was 26 years old. We don't know what the extent of the sexual assault was because she never told us.
If your son or daughter happens to be somebody who's very outgoing and very, I don't want to say popular, but I mean, parents know their kids. And when they do a 180 overnight, something's wrong. When they do a 180 and they've been somewhere, something's wrong.
I did not cope with it very well because I have tried to commit suicide twice, and it was to the point where there was no help out there and nobody was listening. And it was just right to the point where you're right at rock bottom, and you just, like, the end was right there.
At 3:15 a.m., the police knocked on her door. I knew it was about Rebecca, but I was totally unprepared what they told me. They said something like, "We regret to inform you that your daughter has passed away. Resuscitation efforts by paramedics and hospital staff were unsuccessful. She was only 30 years old."
When I started volunteering at CARSA, I knew this was the place for me to volunteer, to give back to the community, because I knew exactly what it was all about. And I needed to be out there to help others. I can fully understand where they're coming from. And I know a lot of people say, "I understand how you're feeling. Oh, I understand this and that." No, they don't understand. People out there, they don't understand. The word "I understand" needs to be used very carefully. And when I say I understand where they're coming from, is because I'm a survivor.
So important work all the way around that the Niagara Regional Sexual Assault Centre does for children, for prevention, for adults. And it doesn't matter how long ago something happened in your life. You might be an adult now, and this happened when you're a child. And believe me, it's still affecting you if that's the case. And it's never too late to get help. They're there. And it's never too late to change things in your life. And it's never, ever, ever too late to stop blaming yourself.
You know, I was speaking at a school, at a particular high school, and after I finished speaking, a bunch of the kids came up and we were talking. And this one in particular kind of hung back, and she was waiting, and I knew she wanted to talk. And these kids stayed up talking to me for quite a while, and I saw her leave, and I went, ah, man, I knew she really wanted to talk. Long story short, the other kids leave, she comes back. She starts telling me about the sexual abuse that she had endured by her mother and stepfather that had only stopped 6 months ago. She was 17. And it only stopped 6 months ago because she moved out. And she was dealing with tremendous guilt because she had to leave her brother there. And she knew what he was going through. Her lip began to quiver and a tear came down her face. And she went like that, and she goes, I haven't cried since I was 12. And I had to report. I took her over to the police officer who was there, and I told him. And I tell you that story, that happened 4 or 5 years ago. And I can tell you that story as if it happened yesterday. Mm-hmm. She's made such a impact on my life. That needs to stop.
That's why we're doing this. This is really hard. But if it helps somebody else, I think it's really important.